Good day, everybody. My name is Gloria, and my role in BMC is Customer Success Specialist in EMEA region. Today, I'm going to explain how to improve searches in Digital Workplace to provide an excellent customer experience. The agenda for today will cover how search bar works in Digital Workplace, how to configure the search engine for catalog items and knowledge articles, key features and benefits of a proper search configuration. We will walk with our product manager car through the new capabilities in search bar, new filter capabilities with Helix Knowledge Management with the studio pages that are relevant to the location of the user. Also, product manager will show a brief demo of Helix GPT. The global search in Digital Workplace retrieves data from more than 10 sources corresponding to applications or data segment within the platform. Each search engine is tunned to supply the best possible results from the individual data sources. Each data source has its own configuration to optimize results individually. Administrators can tailor the search experience to each customer needs. Results from the various sources are then returned and presented in the Helix Digital Workplace portal, listed by relevance according to the different criteria for each source. After introduce the text in search bar, in the top hit tab, all the items from the different data sources appear listed by relevance. The results are grouped, and within each group, the most relevant results are listed with an icon, a title, an excerpt, and availability to perform actions such as preview, a knowledge article, or raise the service request. There are also options to expand the groups, as well as filter the results by source, catalog items, articles, and requests. It's a good practice to make sure users are aware of all the functionality the default global search result page offers to the employees. This can be achieved through instructor-led training and video tutorial. Each of the sources of each search result will have to be managed separately, as they will have distinct characteristics and different content. We are going to see how to configure global search for Digital Workplace. In Digital Workplace admin page, go to Configuration, and in Features, go to Search. Maximum results per source is set to 25 by default, but you can change this number manually. You can also choose if you want to select Request and Approval to be shown in the top hit tab results. Enable natural language searching in order to search within phrases and keywords. In Release 22, re-ranking is available. Make sure you have the re-ranking capability turned on, as it provides results ranked better aligned with expectations. You can also enable configurations for knowledge management search. Make sure the search engine is configured to search partial words, not just the full word. For example, the search engine should find documents about printers, not just when you type printed, but also when you type pre. You can activate this setting in Digital Workplace Admin Configuration Application feature. In Provider, select the first one and then click on the wildcards for knowledge articles. I will take a brief moment to talk about Smart IT search configuration for knowledge articles. Go to Smart IT Knowledge Console, select the article, and select Edit Article Metadata. Please remember that visibility for knowledge article has to be configured also in the metadata of the knowledge article. You can choose as a knowledge manager if the article will be published for external audience or not. Only if it's published for external audience will appear in digital workplace search results. Knowledge articles are found by the words that appears in the title or the content. Other factors will impact search results, such as visibility of groups. If the visibility is defined by groups, the user must belong to the group. By user permissions that allow him to see knowledge article. Also, external audience is set to yes or no will impact the visibility in Smart IT or Smart IT and digital workplace. And also the metadata. You can update the metadata fields such as site, product, category, language, and this field will help you to improve the relationship of the items with the issues. Please notice that metadata is required to position the items above the list of results. Use Visibility menu to allow everyone, a company, or a specific group to see the article. Also allow the external audience to see this article in digital workplace. Also define keywords for the article to move up in the search ranking when users type this word in the search bar. Please notice language is not related to the visibility by local language for the users. You can also define a specific product or operational categorization, so this article will appear in the top position when an agent searches for resources within a ticket with the same categorization. After save the metadata article changes, we can see that for incident created with the same operational category, in Resource tab, we can find this knowledge article in the first position. You can use the metadata configuration to make the top results in Source tab more accurate for the ticket resolution. We will see now how to configure the search engine for Digital Workplace Catalog. Go to Digital Workplace Catalog Admin and click on Settings. Then in Application Settings, click on Search. Allow wildcards for users to be able to use abbreviations. In the example, if you type comp broken, could return results for computer broken. Use and logic for catalog service or request. So if user type office move, result will only return the items that contain both keywords. Enable this feature to provide more accurate results. For catalog search, it's important to understand how fields are indexed in the search engine. In the service catalog profile, 3 fields are indexed in the search engine. item name, description, and tags. Service description has got more space and can hold an extensive description of the catalog items. Anything you add here will be indexed and made searchable. The field will be displayed to end users when catalog item profile page is open. So make sure it contains information relevant to the persona that is going to use it, and explain the purpose and benefit of the catalog item. The field will not be displayed to the end user in case it is a so-called quick request. It will, however, still be searched. It will not be shown in the search result list, which sometimes confuses the end user that asks themselves why this item is ranked so high even if the search phrase is not visible among the search results. Tag. The recommended use of tags is to add aliases or synonyms, words that people use to search for the same item but use different terminology. Example would be holiday, PTO, or annual leave, to ensure people will find it even if it's not using the vacation word. In case you have decided to define multiple navigational paths in the addition to the category, it might be a clever idea to enter the category as a tag, which allows the user to find the catalog items by category also. Categories are otherwise not considered when searching. You can also design your own search bar by using Digital Workplace Studio. Create a new studio page. Select from the components search bar block or content block and select the template that includes the search bar. You can select the size of the search bar. You can customize a welcome message for the end users. And you can select the sources that you want to show in the search results. You can also decide if you want to show the search icon or the categories. You can now customize different search bar in the different studio pages designed for each customer group. You can find more resources in BMC doc page to get a deeper knowledge in search capabilities and best practice for digital workplace.
This is now when we're going to be going into the live demo. So obviously, without further ado, Kath, if I can hand over to you and you can go through that, and just whilst you get your share ready, just a reminder for those that if you've got any questions, continue to put them into the Q&A, and we will have roughly around 15 to 20 minutes at the end for you to be able to answer or ask your questions live as well. So Kath, if I can hand over to you.
Sure. I'll take over. I was just typing on answering a couple of the questions. There is one which we haven't answered about wildcards and performance on wildcards. And when you use wildcards in searches, it will absolutely require more resources from the computers that are doing the search for you. So there is a risk of impact when we do that. And we have seen situations where we needed to add resources because it didn't really perform well after adding the wildcard capabilities. We are right now working on improving that a bit more. I spoke to one of our developers yesterday. He said he is tuning the search performance. So we are working on it, but my ask is if you turn that on, like we recommend, make sure to test what impact it has. And then if you run into issues, raise a support ticket so we can find out what is causing that slowness, and we work together to fix it before you move it to prod. That's kind of my thinking around that. I don't know the one about support groups. There is a question about support groups and if you can limit the access to support groups. That is in Smart IT, and a Smart IT question. I would say I'm pretty sure you can do that. I don't know if Deepak or you have an answer to that, but I'm pretty convinced you can do that. Okay, let's leave it at that for now. Thank you, Gloria, for presenting this. I just wanted to say that this presentation is based on a document that we recently released. The authors are mostly in this room, I would say. We have you, we have Deepak, we have me, and others that have worked on that document. And we will share that document after the call is done, and Samantha will send it out so everybody can take a look in that document. It has a lot of more best practices around how you manage your catalog. And I hope we can run a webinar on that later in the new year. You is a big part of that document, so we'll ask him to talk about it, I think. Okay, so I wanted to share some of the new things. We have already touched on it, but I thought it would be good to say and show you what we did after 22.1 that Gloria was talking about. And the first, let me share my screen also. You don't see my screen, right?
No, if you want to share your screen.
Tell me when you can. I need to pick the right one. I think this is the one. No, must be this one. I have 3 screens right now.
Okay, so we can see the DWP catalogue activity. Is that correct?
The DWP catalog with welcome here.
Yeah.
This is the one.
Yeah. Yeah,
see
you're on the right screen.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah. So,
thank you.
So this is Digital Workplace. It's a studio page. And on here we have the search bar at the top. And you can see a couple of the other functions we have added on the studio pages. This part over here on the right is a container. In Studio, we have added the ability to stack things on top of each other. So you can create columns and you can then put rows within the columns. So there is no limitation, I would say, in keeping the rows the same height anymore, like it was before. You see, this row is just high as these 2 blocks. And then you have this one. They are independent of these things here. So just as a starting point. The first difference you will see when you get into 23.3 is the search bar here. It has this search button on the right, and when you click in the search bar, guess what? You get the pull down. It doesn't move you to the search results like before. So this is much more like Google Works and end users are used to. So it feels much more like the kind of industry standard, I would say. And then you have recent searches here, and either you can type, and before, if you were typing here, it did start searching immediately. It doesn't do that now. So that is also more aligned with the industry best practice, I would say. We can search for vacation. You can pick something here. We can take vacation here, and it goes to the search page, and it looks a little bit different now. As you can see, it has the same look and feel of the search bar, and it searches all the items. There is a difference. You don't really see. Let's take something else, like printer, for example. That is probably giving us more results. There is a difference that from what Gloria was showing. We have this column. It was called top hits before. Now it's called all instead. And as you can see here, there are no groupings in this list anymore. And the reason we did that was that we actually have the groupings up here, and a feature we added earlier that we have implemented. I would say we should give Matt, which is on the panel here, the credit for this. He added a re-ranking feature. So now it's much more likely that you get things in the right order. And before, when you had the groupings, you could maybe see 3 or 4 of the items. And for the end users, when we did user research, for the end users, they thought there was no result because they could only see 3. So if it was number 4 or 5, it would not have been visible on the screen. So this is much better. You see quite a few, and when you scroll down, you have a long list, and it's ranked in a pretty good order. So a couple of the things we did here to improve search. The re-ranking in the background is now default. You can't turn it off. It is much better than the previous one, so we decided to have it on all the time. So that is essentially what we did here. The ranking, we can do a couple of examples here. Search. I have created some catalog items just to show what Gloria was talking about. I call them search name. It's just a test, and when you do that, you're gonna get them here. So. And you see, I call them search name 22.1, 22.2, 22.3, and this one has boost on it. I'll explain why I did that. And then you have them in order, and the ranking is giving you what you expect. I mean, it's in the order of the number. Now, Gloria was talking about it's important what you put in the title, and it's important what you put in the descriptor field. It's important what you put in the tag fields. So you see both is here in the tag field, and here it's in the name field, and here it's in the description field. If I add boost here, if I had thought about it, I would have had a competition here so you could vote. Which one will come at the top? Did you listen to Gloria or not? I'll put boost in here and you will see. So what you can see is that the title is the most relevant field. So I think this is best practice as well. If you search something, the title should come up as the highest priority, and that really happens here. You see, second comes the tag, and third comes the description field. But this is what is driving it. We also have you can do some other tests I did about this. I think if you add search, I have added search in a number of places just to see what happens then. And it is this algorithm about how many times you have the word is not giving much difference. Matt knows the details about this, but I just wanted to let you know that before it was pretty sensitive to how many times the word was appearing in the actual document, which meant it might be given higher priority if you had it many times in the document itself or in the description of a catalog item or in the document of a knowledge article. This has improved so that the title is kind of the more important field that we look into. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Do we have any questions here? So that is what I wanted to share with you regarding news for 23.3 on search. We are continuing to improving this. This is as far as we got with 23.3 right now. One more thing about this screen. I don't know if you can see this, but there is very little white space on the sides. We have in 23.3 extended the space you can use for the content. Quite a few customers have asked for that, so that's kind of a side note. So the other thing I wanted to share with you is that we have released the first version of Helix GPT in Digital Workplace. Helix GPT is our AI-based capability. It's part of the platform of Helix, so it's not just for DWP, it's for all our products, and we use it for many different use cases. And the first one we have implemented in Digital Workplace is to be able to chat with your knowledge base. So essentially, the AI, Helix GPT, is reviewing all the knowledge articles in the knowledge base. It is using AI to transform it into what is called a vector, which is a numeric representation of the meaning of all the knowledge articles and the knowledge in the knowledge articles. It's not just the whole knowledge articles, it's even the small pieces of a knowledge article, the content and the meaning of that little content. We store that as a number instead of the document. And then when you ask a question here, it will use the same AI technology to turn the question into a number. And if they are very close to each other, it has the same meaning. And that meaning, we call it the context, we send to a GPT. It can be any of the large language models from OpenAI or from Azure and so on. And we ask the large language model to provide, to turn that meaning that we get from the numbers and ask it to create a good answer for you. So I'll ask Helix GPT something here, and we can ask it about do we have a vacation policy? I have come up with this story. As I'm in Sweden, we have like 30 holidays. And in this case, it's a manager that is not aware of the different holiday policies in different countries. And one of his employees in Canada say, I spoke to my colleagues in Sweden, they get 30 days off. Can I get a month in July? And he's asking himself, how do I find out? So he's asking Helix GPT, do we have a vacation policy? And Helix GPT will go out and ask and find the answer for us. And as you can see, it's telling us there is a vacation policy for employees, and it's talking about all kinds of policies and differences. But it doesn't really talk about Canada at all, I think. So I'll ask it again. What is the vacation policy for Canada? Canada. And hopefully it can find the answer for me and give me a little bit more detail. And now it's saying employees in Canada earn 2 weeks of annual vacation and 3 weeks after 5 years. Okay, so that means no, you can't get 4 weeks, that's for sure. And as you can see, it's pretty quick to get these answers. And anyone who has worked with Chat GPT or any of the chat tools out there know that if it doesn't have an answer, you might get a fake answer or a hallucination, as it's called. It tries to answer questions and try to invent an answer if it doesn't really have an answer. Here we have avoided that by asking the knowledge articles only. We are not using the knowledge in the large language model, the general knowledge from internet. We're using it for the language understanding, and that's what we've done here. If you still don't trust it, if you want more details, we provide the ability to look up. You see here, the first one is British Columbia. Oh, where is British Columbia? It's actually in Canada, so that's why that one comes up. So Helix GPT knows that British Columbia is in Canada. I might not have known that, but Helix GPT did that. And then I can click on it and actually read the knowledge article from where it took the answers. So it's pretty good and strong at this. I'm not gonna. What you can do as well is you can tailor the. You see here, I have Helix GPT here, and here I have search. In this case, I can look at search and see what do I get. And if we take the articles, I actually got 3 knowledge articles here as well. And in this case, it's on the top, but I can't be sure. I might have to look at all 3. It's more convenient to have Helix GPT giving me an answer. How do you set this up? How do you get to this stage? I would say it's extremely easy to do this. I will see here if we can get something. Where did I have the search examples? I think, and sorry about this. I should have thought about this before. And here it is. So here is a studio page, and it's pretty empty. It has a page container. I can click here, and I can drag the search bar onto the screen like this. And now you see I have the search bar, and I can then click on the search bar and you can here see that you can turn on Helix GPT, right? So if I do that, I get a little bit more menus. I can either keep search on or I can turn it off. And I can also decide if you see search first or Helix GPT. It might be a wish for some customers, but this is per studio page, so it's very flexible. And the next one is to select a skill, and this is predefined by BMC for you. So you don't really need any data scientist skills to add this functionality. You don't need to be a prompt engineer or anything. You just select a skill which is connected to a large language model. In this case, the Azure OpenAI 3.5 Turbo API that you have. And that's about it, I would say. What you can do as well is decide if you want to search all the knowledge bases or only come around. And for come around, you can actually add filters. So it's based on tags. You can limit what you find. How are we on time? I think we are almost at time now. Can I do 5 more minutes,
Yeah,
Samantha?
yes, please, a couple more minutes, and then that gives us sort of 15 minutes or just slightly less for the Q&A. Go for it.
So this is Helix GPT. If you want to test this, if you want to work with us on this, it's the first generation. It's new technology behind the scene. We really want customers that are dedicated to do this and want to test it working with us. We're not giving it to everyone when you upgrade to 23.3. It's the people that really want to give us feedback on the first release and go into production with this. So it's really exciting area. I'm very enthusiastic about this. I wanted to touch another completely different topic around search that we never got to. It has been presented before by our knowledge management people, but the thing, I'll move this screen here onto here. The thing we added for knowledge management and specifically for the customers that have come around the knowledge management. I created this page just to visualize what I want to talk about. We have a search bar which is giving you everything. So if you search here for anything, you will get a lot of things. How do I reset my browser cache? I think would be one search. I didn't get so many, but I did get a few at least. But if we only do cache, I misspelled it. You get a little bit more, and not that many, but at least you get something. So this one is the global search one. Here I put a filter in, which is searching for LOB equals HR. And if I then search for cache, I might get something, but less, I'm sure. I get nothing, which is good because cache is a very technical word. If I search for vacation, I will hopefully get something about, yeah. So now I get these policies for Sweden, for USA, and this one is for Sweden. And this person, Reena is her name. She is in India. And if she is searching, I have a so-called dynamic filter for India. So if that person is in Helix defined as an Indian employee, she will only see Indian policies. That is knowledge articles tagged with India as a tag. And as you saw when I searched for vacation here, there were only three, one for Sweden, one for USA, and then another one for Sweden. So she will likely not see anything if I search here, if everything works. This is thin ice, but I hope it works. You see, there is nothing. So I have another user, and he is called Sven. For those Swedish people on the call, I saw there were some, it's a pretty common. And when I search for vacation here, I only see Sweden. The US one I don't see. And if I have a US user, I would see the US one. So I just wanted to touch on this and show you that capability that you can create studio pages which have fixed filters, only show the articles that have a fixed filter. And you can also define local pages that have filters for which are based on the dynamic data in the database of Helix, in the people records, as we say. Okay, I'll stop there. Thank you for listening. And Samantha, do we have any Q&A now, I think?
Yes, so we've got a few minutes left, and thank you, Kath. I know you probably would have liked the full 30 minutes or so, but as we've mentioned, we will be running more sessions in the new year. So if anyone on the audience has got any ideas about what you'd like to see more of, please reach out. We've got loads of content we want to share with DWP. And with regards, Kath, to the Q&A, we do have some questions that are still in the chat. So I don't know if you want to go through those. I know you were due to answer the one with wildcards, which you'll do retrospectively. And then there was another further question to one of your original, which was, how can we test impact of enabling wildcards on DWP Catalogue affect performance, and can you please list some use cases? So I don't know if you want to take that one. It's from an anonymous, so if that person is still on and wants to talk, feel free to talk, because I'm not going to be keeping the recording of these conversations here at the end, which is the Q&A. I'll just put it into a blog post. So Kath, I don't know if you want to take that one, because that's directed to you.
Yeah, so I mean, the hardest thing for a search engine, this is industry wide, it's not DWP specific, it's just how search engines are designed and works, and how the indexes works, how the algorithms to find things work. The hardest thing is if you have a wildcard in the beginning of a word. And if you turn that on, it might impact the performance. We have decided to actually block that to avoid that people use that to run into performance issues. But if you want to try with a wildcard in the beginning. I mean, star or percent in the beginning is the heaviest you can do. And if that works, it shouldn't be a problem. I think that's a quick answer.
Thank you, Kath. And then if there's any questions, whoever asked that question, if you want to just reply if you've got anything further. Otherwise, Kath, I'll work with you to get that put into a blog post. Thanks for that. We do have another question from Peggy. Peggy, if you're still on and you want to unmute yourself and obviously contribute into this conversation, but you had a question around what happens if there are, for example, 3 KAs return and the end user selects the second KA. Can she pin this to the service and state that it worked? So when the incident is created, the agent can see the KA that was used or pinged by the end user. So I don't know who wants to answer that question.
Yeah, I'll take that. This is Matthew. Hi, Peggy.
Thank you.
So what will happen is if you had 3 knowledge articles returned, the end user selected the second knowledge article, read through that, it didn't really help them enough, and the linked service would be in the sidebar within Digital Workplace. So they would create a service. Let's say, I can't connect to the VPN. The knowledge article didn't help, so I created an incident saying I can't, which is right there offering, okay, this knowledge doesn't help. Let's create the incident. that would get to the agent, but the agent would see that the user had tried to use that knowledge article. So there would be a comment that says, this was created in reference to this knowledge article. So then the case agent would be able to, review that knowledge article and maybe add extra instructions to it. So that maybe that would then reduce the need for an incident the second time, if there was a piece of missing information there that, they can review the article. So the idea is that it helps the agents, see where people are coming from. Maybe the wrong knowledge article is published or being returned in the search results, higher up, or there's missing information. So that's the goal there. The end user didn't really pin anything themselves. It's kind of like a history for the agent to see in the incident.
Right. Thank you, Matthew, for that. Well, the whole intention was if they have those 3 articles, they can say, well, I did number 2, but I'm still having issue. At least the case agent will know and say, okay, I'm not going to try to apply that knowledge article. I'm going to see what else can we do. Not necessarily we're missing some information, right? Plus, the second one will be, could we, and reporting or something, we can say, okay, how many end users from DWP, they're using knowledge articles to pin? Is their account? So let's say your perfect example, VPN, there's maybe 500 people during the whole year, let's say, they use those knowledge articles. Can we say from DWP, they are using knowledge articles? These are the counts. Could we have like a matrix on how many people are using articles?
So if you've opened up an article from Remedy Knowledge Management, it would increment the view count there. So your metrics in Knowledge Management RKM would indicate that these are more viewed articles over other ones.
Right, but the thing will be, could we difference what is being used through DWP and what's using through Smart IT? To make a difference. Okay, so people are using more in DWP, that makes helps them to create more articles or be more intuitive for the end user, right? Is there a way to difference not only the count to say, okay, today we have 500 hits versus 20, but from those 500, can we say, okay, all of these, let's say maybe 60% of those were from DWP pinging those articles?
Yeah, that's not possible today that I'm aware of, but it's a great idea.
Yeah, because
our product
we're trying to
managers
push our end users
them.
to use DWP, right? That's why you guys are working so hard to make it friendly and have all these options. But at the end of the day, when people want to say, well, are we doing a good job? Is the agent resolving fast? Are they using this? How can we measure that? So that'd be a great idea to have, is how we can tell that. And
did you already talk to Eric, our PM for knowledge management, about this? Because he sent me a mail yesterday about this specific use case. So
really? No, I have not. I have not.
Someone else has done that then. So that's
well, maybe somebody else is starting to have ideas like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're
Kath,
right.
I'll put Peggy in contact because actually Eric's going to be doing another webinar for us in January on the 25th. So Peggy, if it's useful, and Kath, you would agree, I can put Peggy in contact with Eric, especially if it hasn't been raised. It's just an awareness. We might need an idea out, right?
Yes, if you guys don't mind, please.
Sure.
One last question will be in same area. If I'm searching, I found my service offering and I'm searching for an article, could there be a list, how in Smart IT and an incident, once you start typing either a business service, a podcast or something, all the knowledge articles comes, the criteria is getting smaller and smaller. Is there also a way how that could be done in DWP? I know you show the way of search, all that, but if I'm in a specific service, can I do that? So if I'm looking VPN issue, does it automatically, because I selected VPN as a service, it will give me those 5, 10, 20 options of knowledge article? Or do I have to search separately somewhere inside of the same service to say VPN issues?
I didn't fully follow what you were asking.
Okay, so my question.
Did you, Matt?
I think I was. say what I think I heard, and then you.
If I
So when
understand,
if
yeah,
you're looking
I
at a
kind
service profile, like a catalog profile of a service, you want to see any associated knowledge articles with it. Is that the?
Well, let's say I have a service called VPN issue.
Yes.
I open the service.
Mm-hmm.
Will somewhere in that page automatically provide me the top five or top 10 knowledge articles results by the service offering that I have selected? Or does it work? I select VPN, and somewhere in the page, I will have another search bar, just like how you're showing, and then I select VPN issues. How do they work together if I'm in a service offering?
So within the service offering, there is, if you're looking at the the profile page that you would have opened in Digital Workplace Catalog or the quick link, there's no related articles here on the right hand side. But there is the other way. Currently, there is the other way around. If you're looking at an article, there would
Right. So that's what I
would
was
be a
asking. So
service,
from
but
a service
the
offering
opposite
to
is
an
not
article.
in place. That's and I know that's ideas we've had. I'll leave it up to Deepak or.
Well, that would be ideal, just like what you have here. So let's pretend on the left-hand side, that's the service offering.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's pretend that's the service offering, and the right-hand side is all the articles. So
Yeah.
right there, the end user will say, oh, this looks like it can help me. And they can ping it and keep, answering all the questions that that service offering might have. They will submit it and say, hey, I follow all this, but something happened, or it didn't work, it's similar, or I tried cleaning cache, I tried this, just like this article states. So that way the end user will not have from the agent and say, oh, do this again. You're like, I already did that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Our thinking there was when we added the capability to list catalog items there, or service offerings, whatever you want to call them. So if this didn't help, you could raise a ticket from here. We did it in that order because we believe that you will do a better shift left. I mean, support self-service better if people start searching knowledge articles, and only if they can't find the answer in the knowledge article, they raise a request. So that's why we started with this one. The other one you're talking about is also in our plans, but we prioritize the other one. This one where you can add catalog items listed here. Below the knowledge articles, you get a list of one or multiple catalog items that would help you resolve the issue. And it would raise a ticket so you get help from the service desk.
Okay.
That's
Well, there's some
how we
plan.
thought. So
knowledge, we wanted to take really the knowledge first approach, and hopefully to just to add to what Kaf and Matt said, having properly displayed through re-ranking and through search to render the most meaningful information first is the key, right? The key is not to get you to a catalog request and then hunt for a knowledge really, but to get you, to have you land at the right place is the key. Plus our search ranking, re-ranking, and other search improvements along with Helix GPT would really take our customers there. So that was our main direction.
And the reason is, if I ask you, when you're doing something at home, where do you go first? You go to Google and search, don't you? That's the behavior we see among people also as an employee that is searching in digital workplace. People are used to going to Google and search. Let them do that here as well. That's why we decided that order. I still think what you suggest is good, because not everyone will go to search first. They might go to the catalog first.
Exactly. So there's always two ways of how performing something, right?
Yeah.
And I know.
And we agree, and a part of it, if you raise BMC tickets on BMC Support Central, you must be getting the same experience, right? As you start typing, it gives you the knowledge article on the right hand side that the case that you can refer on communities. So we still have that on our mind, but the whole knowledge first approach, and the first step we wanted to take is search enhancements to make search more robust, to get you more meaningful information. in a single order, plus the Helix GPT implementation, what you saw, right? Which can actually get you step-by-step information and can guide you, right? So the idea that you mentioned is on our radar already, but the first step is knowledge first approach, where this all re-ranking and Helix GPT implementation comes into picture.
So the first thing is coming out, so just to recap a little bit, is the knowledge. We will find the knowledge, and then in the lower right hand, like they were showing me a few minutes ago, the services or the catalog items will be displayed there, and the end user can select it from there and say, okay, this is the one I selected, and create whatever it is, a work order, an incident, or a change from that matter as a fulfillment.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's out there already, so you can start implementing it if you want.
Which version is that?
Was it 05, I think?
Yeah, I put it on chat, Peggy. If you see our one-on-one chat, there is a follow-up answer on that. I put the link of the exact functionality in the chat for you from Docs.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you
Yeah,
very
it
much.
was in, yeah, it is. We had multiple feature releases in 22.1 patch releases. So it's in one of those. I sent you the exact link, so you don't have to hunt for it.